Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we are back with another weekly wears video where I go over every fragrance that I wore all 7 days last week. So if that's content that you think you want to see more of, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on bell notifications so you are updated whenever I'm uploading new content. It was a hot week here in Massachusetts, so I'm starting to dip a little bit more into those fresh fragrances and warmer weather appropriate fragrances. So let's get into it, starting with Sunday. So just a little bit of trivia about the channel. On Sunday, I reached for a fragrance that I actually talked about on this channel, and it's the first video I ever uploaded. You may or may not know which fragrance I'm already talking about. Some of you guys have literally been here since the beginning. But the scent I'm talking about is Starwalker Extreme from Mont Blanc. And I've been into fragrance for a long time. It's a coincidence that this was my first fragrance that I talked about because I think at that moment in time, I had been considering starting a channel. I was just appreciative of inexpensive fragrances that do really well, whether they perform well, whether they smell great, because I own fragrances at every price point from niche that is over $400 to fragrances that I paid $8 for. So I am not a snob when it comes to fragrance, rightfully so. There's some great scents that you can get fairly cheap. I think I paid $24.99 for this, and this fits that role. I felt compelled to talk about it. Mandarin orange, lavender, and tonka bean are some of the notes in here. For me, this is a cross between something like an Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce and a Dolce Gabbana The One. I think it's a really nice, versatile scent that can work in cooler weather in addition to warmer weather. And I'm thinking evening out, as a matter of fact. But a playful evening out, not too serious or buttoned up. I wouldn't necessarily wear this on a date night, but if you're going out with friends, it's kind of playful. It's not too serious. It's a little bit sweet, powdery, tonka bean in here. And some people compare this to Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. And I do get some similarities in the two. I think, you have that mandarin orange up top, that tonka bean vanillic vibe. You don't have the greenness and the mintiness and the coolness of that scent. At least I don't pick that up in here, but I do pick up the powderiness. This smells really nothing like the OG Starwalker to me. So the name, it may have been a little bit lazy on Mont Blanc's part, just naming it something that, again, doesn't really fit in the role of a true flanker, really smelling anything like the original. I just don't pick it up in here. But what I do get is some really well-balanced sweetness, some freshness to go along with that sweetness. And for me, those are winners. It's really versatile. It could be office safe, but, again, this for me, I wore it on Sunday. It was just kind of a lazy day. It's a little warm out, and I just wanted something easy, clean, fresh, and sweet. And this does that perfectly. Performance, not great. You're going to get about 6 or 7 hours from it. But again, it's inexpensive, and I don't want everything that I own to be a performance monster or a beast or project 10 feet. It's just the mood I was in. Starwalker Extreme from Mont Blanc. This next one is a summer staple for many people. I would be shocked if you haven't heard of this one, although I know some of you guys are newbies to the fragrance game. So that's why I'm going to continue to talk about some of the classic heavy hitters. This is one of them. Scent I'm talking about is Versace's Man Eau Fraiche. Now, typically you can pick up a bottle of this size. I want to say this is the 50 ml, 1.7 fluid ounce. I got this for under 40 bucks at a Burlington. I'll be sure to link it down below, as cheap as I can find it. But this one it's a classic. Starfruit, tarragon, and amber. Funny enough, this has a warmth to it in the dry down. This gets compared a lot. I think not compared to in the sense that they smell like, but when you talk about this one, I think it's a natural sort of conversation to have is to bring up Versace Pour Homme. And a lot of people wonder which one they should get. Is it redundant? They don't smell anything alike. And Versace Man Eau Fraiche is just a more toned down, doesn't project like a monster, at least in the opening, like Versace Pour Homme does. It's not as bright or uplifting. It's a little more herbal, a little more herbaceous, a little more green, a little more flat. It doesn't sparkle like Versace Pour Homme, but that's what I like about this. It's woody, aquatic, and green. Doesn't really fit what you would think to be sort of the typical summer freshie. It has an herbaceous, almost vegetal feel to it. Almost like if you picked a vegetable from the garden and cut it open. That's the sort of the vibe I get from this. And it has just this slight sweetness in there that just balances everything and makes it really nice. Longevity is not great. I get about 5 hours from this on a good day. So, but it's just a really likable, fresh scent that just reminds me of summertime. I will be reaching for this. I also get a little bit of kick of Ambroxan or something in there, a little something pushing it that gives it sort of this aquatic vibe to it. Definitely try Versace Man Eau Fraiche. So on Tuesday, I had this one because I did a video on whether or not this is still worth it in 2023. You guys need to go watch that video because I feel like I sort of covered all the bases, at least something that I would want to see if I was weighing whether or not to grab this scent. Scent I'm talking about is Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Now, a lot of you guys love this scent, and rightfully so. It's fantastic. It's in my top 10. But it's not cheap. I'm going to link it down below. Joma Shop has it at a really good deal right now. So it's, you're going to pay a little more money for this one. And I think because it's in the mid 100, like it's closer to 150 for 100 ml, it kind of is not super expensive, like niche expensive for the most part. You can still get some niche for under $100, but in terms of quality, fantastic. It's just mint, black pepper, tonka bean. It's powdery, it's sweet, it's fresh. Versace Eros is sweet and fresh, but that's not versatile. I smell Versace Eros. It's not something I'm going to put on a warm day. It's something that I would want to wear more in the evening. And it also smells really youthful. But if you want something sweet and fresh, a little more grown up, a little more refined, this is what you want to wear. This is what you want to grab because it has that sweet, fresh element that is more grown up, more put together, and just more versatile. It's incredible stuff. It's worth the money, in my opinion. Now, some of you guys also commented on that other video that you're massive fans of Edition Blanche. I have not had the luxury to smell that yet. I want to. It's one that I've wanted to try for quite some time. So maybe I will blind buy that. I don't know. But I trust you guys, and I know that that scent is highly regarded as one of the best. So definitely get your nose on this. It's one of my favorites, and it will continue to be. And as I said in that video, longevity is a question mark for many on this, but I tend to go nose blind to this and get complimented hours later. So for me, performance is really good. Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. On Wednesday, I reached for my most recent rack store pickup. So if you have not watched that video, go check that out. Scent I'm talking about is So Pure Eau de Parfum from Milestone Perfumes. And this was an absolute steal. This $12.99, found it at a TJ Maxx. Incredible. Incredible atomizer, Herba Pura, cologne. All right. It looks like it has a Xerjoff bottle. I know it has the Sospiro cap. So it's kind of a blend of the two. It doesn't have the velvet covering that the Herba Pura has, but nonetheless, as I say in that other video, this is a really quality bottle. Sicilian orange, fruits, musk, and vanilla. This is a fruity, vanilla, musky bomb that projects really well, lasts all day. I get great performance from this. I compared it to Ana Abiyed from Lattafa. The Lattafa is much more of a projector, and it really depends on what you're going for. This, for me, is a little more toned down, but that's not a bad thing because it's a heavy scent. I mean, the oil concentration here, I sprayed it on my hand in that video. You can see the oil on me. And so you're getting a high oil concentration. It's an eau de parfum concentration, but it's going to last, really be pleasant. And as it dries down, more of that vanilla comes out, that musk. This could lean feminine for some, so just keep that in mind. And my wife, when she smelled it next to the Ana Abiyed on my hand. She couldn't tell the difference. She truly could not tell the difference between the two. She thought it was the same scent. She also thought it smelled closer to like a body mist that you would get at something like a Bath and Body Works, which I kind of understand that vibe. I do. The fruitiness, the muskiness, it does kind of come across that way a bit. But for me, I don't know. More of that vanilla starts to come out. It gets a little deeper in the dry down and less body mist. So just keep that in mind. With a fruity, musky scent, you might get that vibe from it. Some people say it smells like hairspray. I get it. It's not that synthetic or harsh to me. So for $12.99, this smells fantastic. Definitely grab this, try it if you see it in your TJ Maxx. So Pure Eau de Parfum. On Thursday, it was important for me where I was to not really grab attention with my scent, but still smell clean and put together and fresh. Scent I decided to go with, one of my favorite pickups this year, Dolce Gabbana Pour Homme. Terrible atomizer. Mandarin orange, tobacco, lavender, some spicy black pepper. This just smells clean. Even the tobacco in here smells clean. And that, I don't really know how else to explain it other than this has a slight soapy vibe to it. The citrus is a little bit sweet. It's perfect. The mandarin orange in here. I mean, guys, I talk about that. It's my favorite. It's no wonder that a lot of my fragrances that have a citrus opening that are my favorites have mandarin orange in the opening because, and I like bergamot as well, but the mandarin orange just adds a different element to it. And yes, it's not as bright as it could be, but that sweetness is just enough. It's not cloying. Doesn't smell sticky sweet or anything like that. Mixed with the tobacco in here, the tobacco is really light and airy. And if there was a clean version of tobacco, it's in here. Really gentlemanly and put together. I imagine this scent being worn suit and tie. This could be the only scent that he owns and really is confident. So this is for a confident guy and effortless. It's Italian style perfumery that is just effortless, and it can be the only thing that you own. A lot of people are purists when it comes to this scent, and by that I mean they love the vintage formulations. And I want to say the vintage formulation has a silver and black sticker on the front that was made in Italy. Now, this was not made in Italy. There are people that are going to tell you that only buy the vintage. There are people that are going to say, I own vintage and I own the newer formulations. There's no difference. And there are going to be people that say, don't even bother with the vintage. So the camp I'm in is that I bought this and I tried this first before vintage or anything, and I'm happy with it. I love it. Fantastic scent that I find myself wanting to reach for more often than not, and it gets really great performance. Lasts all day, lasts a full work day, and this is the type of scent that I want to last close to a full work day if possible. Dolce Gabbana, Pour Homme. On Thursday, one of my subscribers, Benjamin, was nice enough to send this in a care package to me. Thank you so much, Benjamin. And this was a scent that I wore in junior high, heavy. So whenever I spray this, it brings back a lot of memories. Scent I'm talking about is Tommy from Tommy Hilfiger. Lavender, cranberry, and cactus of all notes. I don't pick up cactus necessarily. And this is a 90 scent. It's green, it's clean, it's slightly aquatic, it's a little metallic. It is not blue, but it's fresh and clean. And it smells like you are maybe out of the shower, but it's not shower gel, if that makes any sense. It's closer to a soapy feel, but nonetheless, I love this stuff. This smells dated to me in a way because it was something I wore so often and smelled so often in adolescence. I mean, early, I'm a 90s kid, and going to junior high, every guy had this on their dresser. So you smelled a lot of Tommy, and you smelled it in the mall when you walked in. I was wearing the big Tommy sweatshirts with the big logos. I had it all, right? So the whole vibe, Tommy vibe, 100%. So this carries a lot of nostalgia. But now with my appreciation for fragrances, I smelled a lot more. This one holds up. It still smells great. And, I remember it performing way better. The performance on this sucks, to be quite honest. It didn't last very long on my skin the day I wore it. So performance is an issue with this. So you're going to get about 4 hours from it. But with that being said, I would imagine there's still vintage bottles out there. And if you can get your hands on one, go on eBay, try to get a vintage bottle. I may even do that. It's going to spark something in you, especially if you wore this back in the day. Still works today. Does smell a bit dated, will smell a bit dated to guys my age. That's not a bad thing. I think this could still work today. Again, classic 90s perfumery, a little bit metallic, clean, really easy. I like this one. Tommy from Tommy Hilfiger. Finally, on Saturday, my daughter has baseball and T-ball. It's a clinic. They're learning how to play baseball. Again, I didn't want to be the cologne guy, the cologne dad on the field. Didn't want to be projecting like a monster in 80-degree heat. So I reached for one that is my go-to on super hot days when I'm outside or inside for that matter, and I just want to smell clean. Scent I decided to go with is John Varvatos Artisan Pure. Clementine, petitgrain, and musk are the notes in here. Terrible atomizer, and I mention this every time we talk about John Varvatos. Spray heavy. Do not be shy on the sprayer. It barely puts out any juice. So one of the criticisms of John Varvatos fragrances is that they don't last. Well, part of that reason is because it's like shooting it from a 5 ml decant or something. You got to spray heavy with this. But with that being said, this is a unique fragrance. It's citrusy, herbal, and soapy. And the first time I smelled this, I didn't like it. I thought, well, that's a little too unique and different for me. And I came around to it. Eventually, I came around to it. There are nuances to it that just make this interesting. And it's the herbalness. It's calming. It is soapy, so evenly and masterfully blended. It has a little bit of a creaminess to it. It's effortless. And the citrus in here is so damn good. There's nothing harsh about it. I just love this stuff. And it really reminds me of a bar of soap, old school soap wrapped in like that sort of wax paper, white bar soap for the shower. That's sort of the quality it leaves on my skin as this dries down. And it just smells super clean. Like you can't go wrong with this scent. Not necessarily maybe a massive compliment getter, and it doesn't last that long. If you spray heavy on clothes, it will tend to last longer. So just on skin, it doesn't last that long, unfortunately. But for me, doesn't matter. This is super cheap. I can't believe how cheap this is for the quality you're getting here and just for its uniqueness. So I'll be sure to link it down below. And I love this stuff. So happy to have this in the collection. And I think you'll like it too. John Varvatos, Artisan Pure. That's all I have today, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what your weekly rotation was. I love knowing what you guys are wearing. From time to time, it will give me an idea on what I think I want to try next. Drop it in the comment section down below. If you like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.